Shalom Israel, Shalom, Shalom. Brother Naquam, watching for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts and another cold cut, giving, of course, our honor and our glory to Yahweh. Bahashima Mashiach Wamalaki Bashai. Double honors to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting for the second coming of Mashiach Wamalaki Bashai. A hearty, mighty shalom to all of the mighty men of the Most High God who are out there on the highways and byways, pushing this truth, magnifying the ministry, presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice, and enduring all things for the elect's sake. Shalom, shalom. A shalom to all of the men that may not be out there in the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying. They're fasting. They're studying. They're being diligent and abounding in the work of the Lord. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the Akwaf out there, the sincere sisters out there, holding it down in the households, moving in the spirit of our righteous foremothers. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to the ancient men, the children, and the elect of Israel, scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. The topic of this cold cut is I'm calling out names you really don't want the kingdom, right? I believe that was the name of this cold cut. I'm calling out names you really don't want the kingdom, right? Let's go to the book of Nehemiah, chapter 4, and I'm going to start at verse 10. Because there are men, who know that they're Israelites. They may say I'm from the tribe of Judah, I'm from the tribe of Benjamin, Levi, Ephraim, Manasseh, etc. There are men that complain about the estate of our world, the estate of our people that you can read about in the curses. People complain about the poverty, complain about the injustice. They may complain about their personal issues, how they're bound by particular sins and demons, and how this world is off and is evil. And there are men that know that they're Israel, and there are men that complain legitimately about the evil that's done in the world. And these men, they may say, I want the kingdom. There are men that say, look, we need to get out of here. You'll hear these things, man. I can't wait till this place is destroyed. A lot of men may say these things, but these men really don't believe it, man, because their works don't add up to what they are saying and what they're complaining about, man. When you go to James, let me get a quick precept before I go to Nehemiah, right? Before I go to Nehemiah, let's get the classic in James, the second chapter, right? Here's what the Apostle James said about faith and works, right? This is James, because you can't just sit there and think that the kingdom of heaven is going to manifest itself. Even Yahweh Shah said, it's like that the kingdom of heaven cometh not with observation, Neither shall they say, lo here or lo there. Now, this is James chapter 2 and verse, I'll reach 14. What doth it profit, my brethren, though a man say he have faith and have not works? Can faith save him? Yeah, can you simply believing that the chariots are going to come, is that going to save you? You believing that the Most High exists, is that going to save you? These nations, they know about the Most High. Esau know about the chariots. These elites, they know about Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. They have held a hold on our records, man, right? And all of our history. So everybody knows about the Most High. Your faith isn't just going to deliver you out of here, right? Verse 15. If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you say unto them, depart in peace, be you warmed and filled, notwithstanding, ye give them not those things which are needful to the body, what doth it profit? Right, yeah, you got a brother, he need alms, the brother, he poor, maybe his car broke down, he's short on his bills, whatever. Hey, guess what? If you don't help that brother out, then you don't really have any faith. Because James is about to go through it, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, how the talk of the lips don't mean a damn thing. 1 Samuel 2 and 3, even Hannah, our foremother, said, talk no more exceeding proud. Not to let arrogancy come out of your mouth, for the Most High is a God of knowledge, and by him, what? Actions are weighed. So the Most High, he wants to see your actions. He don't want to hear you talk. He don't want to hear you just say things. Where are your works that back up that you really want the kingdom, huh? Right? This is James chapter 2 and verse 17. Even so, faith, if that hath not works, is dead being alone. See, two are better than one, right? Works and faith, right? So a lot of brothers, you don't really want the kingdom. There's even sisters, you don't want the kingdom, huh? You're not putting forth the work. And the work is beyond going to camp. The work is beyond teaching on the highways and byways. There are works that go into that are behind the scenes. There are works in building up your household, and there are works on establishing the nation. There's works that comes to organization that involves humility. All of these are the works that Yahweh Shah is looking for, man. Sealing the elect, pushing the prophecies, teaching repentance. You understand? Breaking these scriptures down. All of this goes into works. And there are many more works. Giving alms is works. You understand? Showing compassion to your brethren, lifting up your brother when he's down, being your brother's keeper. Romans 15:1 on down, Galatians 6:1 on down. I'm not going to put those, precepts, but you can read those on your own. So don't come to me or come to a brother and complain even to Yahweh Shai about the estate of your people and what the hell you got going on, but you don't have any works, man. Because the Most High said, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, until we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. So there's works that have to be done to bring about the kingdom. Right? Let's go to Nehemiah chapter 4 and verse 10. Right? Let's go to Nehemiah chapter 4 and 10. And a lot of brothers, and like I said, they don't have any works, man. Right? They don't have any works. Now you can say, well, I raked the leaves in my neighborhood. I had a soup kitchen, right? And I helped the poor out. There's nothing wrong with that, man. But there are levels to work. There are levels of importance and priority with work. And that's with anything in life. Any corporation, they prioritize what has to be handled first. There are things that are highly esteemed and highly regarded, and there are works that are menial, and there are works that may not have as much profit in it. The main work that we have been called to do is to labor in his vineyard. The main work that the men of the Lord have been called to do is to seal the elect. The main work is to preach repentance, preach this gospel. That is the main work that Yahweh Bashmir Shai has commanded us to do. Right now, this is Nehemiah chapter 4 and verse 10. Right, Salakia? This is Nehemiah chapter 4 and verse 10. It reads, and Judah said, the strength of the bearers of burdens is decayed, and there is much rubbish, so that we are not able to build the wall. So you have men around the time of Nehemiah. Remember, Nehemiah was charged by Artaxerxes to go back and build Jerusalem around, most scholars would say around 445, 444 BC, right? He went a few years after Artaxerxes commissioned Ezra to go, right? Now, when Nehemiah went back in a time of trouble, right? In troublous times, you can read about that in Daniel, the 9th chapter. So you had heathen trying to overthrow the building of the wall. And then you had, as I'm reading, you had Judah and a lot of Israel began to doubt and said, look, man, the wall is decayed. We're not able to get this done. We don't have enough resources. How are we going to be able to get this thing finished? Right? So Nehemiah was there as a leader to pave the way and set things in order. Right? It reads, and Judah said, the strength of the bearers of burdens is decayed. And this represents, our people on a spiritual level. You can't look at this as a one-dimensional scripture, man. The Lord said in Job chapter 11 and 6, oh, that the Most High would show thee the secrets of wisdom, that they are double to that which is. So the carnal wall and the carnal temple and altar that was built by Zerubbabel, Joshua, Nehemiah, Ezra, right? All of these men that stood up and built that physical temple and that physical wall, that's actually what's happening right now. So right now, the builders are decayed, man. Right? The strength of the bearers of burdens is decayed. Our people don't know the truth. We're the bearers of burdens. We're the ones responsible for building a wall. They're not going to build it for you. Who's going to wake up Israel, man? You think these heathen are going to do the work? Read Revelation chapter 11 and 9. Read Lamentation chapter 2 and 15. Read Hosea chapter 13 and 10. Read Jeremiah 15 and 5. Read the book of Luke, the 15th chapter, right? About the citizen who sent the one of the men of the Lord, which is the prodigal son, into his field to feed swine. Read Psalms 83, Psalms 2, Psalm 64, 1 Ezra chapter 5, 70 on down. Right? Read these accounts of how these heathen really don't give a damn about you, man. They're not going to build the wall for you. They're not going to do this work for you. They're not going to wake up the elect for you. They're not going to go out in the highways and byways for you, man. You got to do this. Right? It says, and there is much rubbish, so that we are not able to build the wall. Right? Rubbish, even on a spiritual level, are philosophies, doctrines, the curses. right? We are not able to build the wall. It reads, and this was the mindset of our people, that doubting spirit. That's no faith right there. We can't do it. I can't do the work. I don't know anything. I'm not like that, brother. I don't know all of the precepts. I've only been in this thing 2 years, right? That's that doubting spirit right there. Verse 11. And our adversary said, they shall not know, neither see, till we come in the midst among them and slay them and cause the work to cease. So these heathen are plotting in the hours of the night to try to cause this work to cease. Why do you think they're pushing this anti-Semitism agenda so boldly? Why do you think they're labeling us these hate groups and domestic terrorists and pushing this famine of the word to the point now where you can't even read particular scriptures in the New Testament or it's going to be labeled as hate speech? So they're trying to cause this work to cease because they know that this work is more important, right? It reads, and it came to pass that when the Jews which dwelt by them came, they said unto us 10 times, from all places, whence ye shall return unto us, they will be upon you. So then you had Israelites putting doubt in the fear of the people. Therefore, set I in the lower places behind the wall, and on the higher places, I even set the people after their families with their swords, their spears, and their bows. So Nehemiah, he didn't cower out. He saw the adversity and he set things in order. He didn't sit there and complain and have that same spirit. Oh, we'll never be able to build the wall. Oh, they will kill us in the night. They're going to cause the work to cease. See, a man of the Lord, he's going to see the adversity coming from the heathen. He's going to see the curses his people are bound by. He's going to see the estate of his people. And he's not just going to talk about it. He's going to do something about it, man. He's going to take initiative. He's going to have vision. He's going to have drive. He's going to have motivation. He's going to have zeal to build his people up from that lower state, man. And this is the mindset of Nehemiah. He didn't give heed to all of the madness. He said, what can I do for my people? I see the estate of my people. Let's set things up in order. Right? Let's read on. Nehemiah chapter 4 and 14. And Nehemiah is a beautiful leader and a perfect example on how men should move as we begin to build in these last days. Right? Nehemiah chapter 4 and 14. And I looked and rose up and said unto the nobles and to the rulers and to the rest of the people, be not yet afraid of them. Remember Yahweh, which is great and terrible, and fight for your brethren, your sons, your daughters, your wives, and your houses. So this truth is bigger than you, man. Right? This truth isn't just about you. If you really love your people, you're going to go out there and do this work. It's not just reading the Bible. Okay, you cut up an Edomite. Okay, Esau kissed the boot. Okay, you got on the so-called black woman, right? You know, you seen in the, you said, get, no, it's more than that, man. The men that are out there putting their lives on the line, week in and week out, those are the men who love their nation the most. Those are the men who are fighting for their wives, their children, their houses, man. As these heathen come to destroy us of very malice. Right, let's read on. Nehemiah chapter 4 and 15. And it came to pass when our enemies heard that it was known unto us, and the Most High had brought their counsel to naught, that we returned all of us to the wall, every one unto his work. So when you build a wall, everybody's not in the same place at one time. You don't have an assembly line building a wall. If you have a massive wall, you have many workers working on different parts of the wall. So in Israel, everybody's not going to be doing the exact same thing at the exact same moment. That's why Yahweh, Bashmel Shai, has set up different men. That's why you have different congregations. You know, despite the differences in doctrine and things of that nature, you may have to elect or you of many of those congregations, man. Because everyone, whether you're in a congregation or not, if you're out there doing that work, you're still building that wall at your specific spot. At a construction site, people are doing different things, right? You drive past or you work at a construction site, you don't have 100 people working on one door. And you got some guys, you land a foundation, you got some guys on the brick saw, And you got some guys, they mixing the concrete. And you got some guys, they doing the electrical work. You got one guy with the blueprint kind of giving orders. Everybody's at that site working on building up whatever they're building, right? It reads, Nehemiah chapter 4 and 16. And it came to pass that time forth, that half of my servants wrought in the work, and the other half of them held both. Salaki, let me get a little closer. Right, bear with me. And the other half of my servants wrought in the work, Salakia, and the other half of them held both spears, the shields, and the bows, and their habergeons, and the rulers were behind all the house of Judah. They which builded the wall, and they that bear burdens, with those that laid it, every one with his hands wrought in the work, and with the other hand held a weapon. And this is you couldn't ask Jake to do this now, man. Right? Jake could barely go to camp. Barely show up on time. And brother barely damn do a video, man. You gotta fight a brother to do a video, man. You know? You gotta remind the brother 10 times when to go to camp to do this work. See, these men, they really wanted sovereignty over their people. They really wanted the wall builded. These men had zeal. They had a weapon in one hand and a tool in another hand. And they had burdens. They was working all day, all night. All day, all night. Let's read on. For the builders, everyone had his sword girded by his side, and so builded, and he that sounded the trumpet was by me. And I said unto the nobles, and to the rulers, and to the rest of the people, the work is great and large, and we are separated upon the wall, one far from another. And this work is great and large, man. We're not building an apartment complex. We're not building the Taj Mahal. We're not building the eighth wonder of the world, man. We're not building a tourist attraction. The work that we're doing is great. We're building up a people. We're building up a temple. We're building up the third temple that everybody's talking about, man. And you got this so-called Jew, Amalek, he's waiting on a red heifer. And he's going to do this altar and so-called force the hand of his demonic power that he wants to bring forth, man. Hey, guess what? We're doing the work right now, man. And if you're a man and you know this truth and you're not working on this wall and you're not working on this temple and you don't have your tool in your hand and you're not out there laboring, then shame on you, man. You don't really want the kingdom. Stop playing yourself, man. Stop acting like you really want to get out of here. Stop acting like you really want everlasting life. Stop talking about the chariots, man. Stop talking about slaves and pulling Revelation 13, 9, and 10 and Jeremiah 30 and 16 and stop. Just cut it out, brother. Because you're lying to yourself. You're lying to your nation. And you're lying to the Most High, man. Right? Just cut it out, brother. Just say, I don't want the kingdom. Just say, I don't want everlasting life. Like Exodus 21 and 5 say, I love my master. Just get your money. Stop acting like you want to be righteous. Like I said, get this money, man. And you get these women that you want. Get that car, get this job, and just kick your feet up, man. Give me your Bible, man. Give me your apocrypha. I'll give it to somebody who's going to do this work, man. Hey, give me your fringes, man. Give me your apocrypha, man. Because you're not doing nothing with it. It reads, and I said unto the nobles and to the rulers and to the rest of the people, the work is great and large, and we are separated upon the wall, one far from another. And we're separated because you got brothers in religions. You got brothers into politics. You got sodomites of our people. You got weed smokers. You got gamblers. You got thieves. You got liars. You got rapists. You got extortioners. You got murderers. You got whoremongers. I mean, we're separated, man, through so many sins and philosophies and madness. How can you build a wall when the people are scattered abroad? So we got to gather the people together, which is organizing a nation. See, one thing that these nations got that Israel don't got is respect, honor, and organization. Because these nations, I seen a Moabite, man, they built a hospital in damn 48 hours. You know? I saw them, man. During that pestilence, they built like 3 hospitals in 48 hours. They was working. You think they was fighting each other? You think there was slander, gossip, murmuring? You think one guy said, nah, we're going to do it like this. The other guy said, no, we're going to do it like this. And they got into a fight. They did that in 48 hours, man. 5 Negroes can't even decide what the hell they going to eat, man. Oh, I don't know. Well, we going to do this. And, well, what we going to do? And so Jake is completely separated and has just completely fallen. Edomites organized in wickedness. They organized a march for so-called Pride Month for lewdness and wickedness, man. Hey, these Edomites gave Donald Trump, what, over $200 million? You know? And this Edomite, man, this Edomite woman, she made this post. She said, look, when Edom, she didn't say Edomites, but she said when white people have things that don't go their way, you see, we don't burn cities down, right? We don't burn and kill each other. You see, we raised up 200 million. Now, Jake could raise up 200 million. All these elite celebrities and, you know, rappers and athletes, man, Jake can't come together for nothing. They raised up 200 million for a Donald Trump, a damn demon, and what, 72 hours. So these nations, they and wickedness, they can organize, they have honor and humility. Jake can't even, you ask a brother to turn right, why I gotta turn right? Why I gotta go to camp? I'm gonna do my own thing. So that's why you don't want the kingdom, huh? Right? You don't really want the kingdom. This is a mean precept. Nehemiah, let's read on. Nehemiah 4:20. And what place, therefore, ye hear the sound of the trumpet, resort ye thither unto us. Our God shall fight for us. And we're blowing the trumpet. When you hear these prophecies, come do this work, man. When you hear us pushing this word in the highways and byways, gird up your loins, man. Put your laboring weapon in your hand. Come join us and push this word. Verse 21. Now this is getting mean right here. So we labored in the work, and half of them held the spears from the rising of the morning till the stars appeared. So that's around what? Rising in the morning, sun up. Let's say 6 o'clock a.m. Now the stars don't come out till, you know, let's say, 9. A few hours, you know, so after the sun go down. So these guys, these men, our forefathers, they worked, you know, 15 hours. 15 hours. Jake, you can't even work 8 hours. Oh, boy, I had a long day. Oh, man, I was doing this. I was doing this. I was doing this. Well, first of all, brother, you're out of shape. You don't take care of yourself. Right? That's first of all, brother. Second of all, brother, the work that our forefathers did, they would kill to work at whatever you work at the warehouse, man. You know? These men was moving bricks, cinder blocks. They had tools in their hand, a weapon in their hand, and they was laboring. They wanted the kingdom. They wanted salvation for their people, man. You see how their faith and with their works, their faith was made perfect. Take a brother, put him in the time machine right there and say, hey, look, brother, we're going to be working till the sun up and till the stars appear. Hey, brothers ain't going to do that. How many brothers will volunteer? Ain't nobody volunteering for that, man. That's hard work. They was sweating, you know. They didn't have vacation. They didn't accrue sick time. You got brothers that can't even go to camp. It's too hot out there. Then you show up late, man. Or you leave early because you want to go on a date. Or you're thinking about your woman. Like I said, man, a lot of you brothers don't want the kingdom. You might as well turn in your Bible, man. turn in your apocrypha, turn in your fringes, you know, all your highlighters, your pens, and just stop playing yourself like you really want this thing. Just stop. Nehemiah chapter 4 and verse 22. Likewise, at that same time, said I unto the people, let everyone with his servant lodge within Jerusalem, that that in the night they may be a guard to us and labor on the day. So this was hard work. They was up all night. They was rotating shifts, and then they was working in the day. And some of these guys, they was up all day and all night and all day. So these guys worked about 15 hours. They had to stay up all night. Now, some of them had different shifts, but some of them, they couldn't do it all. So some of these guys was up, and they had to work that following morning and keep building. Now this verse 23, Nehemiah 4 and 23. So neither I, nor my brethren, nor my servants, nor the men of the guard which followed me, none of us put off our clothes, saving that every one put them off for washing. You see that? So these brothers, man, they didn't even change their clothes, man. They kind of had to wash, right? Hey, they was probably stinking, man, sweating, you know? And that's an uncomfortable feeling when you sweating, you musty, all right? You're uncomfortable, man. You're itching, it's hot. You got the same clothes on. You're laboring. But they made it all a sacrifice, man. So a lot of brothers, you can't go to camp without prettying yourself up, man. You're late because you had to put all your oil on. You had to put all your chains on, your fanciest garment on, and then you want to go to camp, and then the camera got to be on, but the angle got to be just right. Then you got to talk, and you got to get on Esau all the time, and you never teach your people, and you're there, but you want to close up early, and your heart not really in this thing. Your heart really not in this thing. Let's go to Nehemiah chapter 11 and 1, right? See if I got time to get all these precepts I want to get. Most I will. Right? And Nehemiah is one of my favorite books, man. Right? Nehemiah chapter 11, Slakia, and verse 1. And the rulers of the people dwelt at Jerusalem. The rest of the people also cast lots to bring 1 of 10 to dwell in Jerusalem, the holy city, and 9 parts to dwell in other cities. Now, this is a big deal. Let me read this again. Nehemiah 11 and 2, or 1. And the rulers of the people dwelt at Jerusalem. Now, you got to remember, Jerusalem wasn't how it was during the time of Solomon, when Nehemiah was alive. It wasn't like it was during the time of David, or Hezekiah. The wall was destroyed. The temple was barely functioning. People were scattered abroad. You didn't have houses like that. The land wasn't tilled. It looked like a wasteland pretty much. But the men that stepped up to the plate, the rulers, they say, you know what? I see the estate of Jerusalem. I can easily be comfortable getting the fat pastures of the countryside in Judea. But you know what? I'm going to put my livelihood on the back burner. And what I want, I'm a ruler. I'm going to dwell at Jerusalem. Which means, guess what? I'm going to be an example. I'm going to do the work. I'm going to set the standard and the tone of how the men of the Lord should be. That was the rulers of the people. That was their mentality. And then you had people that didn't want to live in Jerusalem because it was too uncomfortable. Because it wasn't an easy life. Because the land wasn't tilled. The houses weren't built like that. The wall, they were at danger. They were fearful. So they had to cast lots just to get people to live in Jerusalem. And a lot of these guys was mad. Oh, I got to live in Jerusalem. I got to go in this wasteland. I got to labor and build, Now, this verse 2. And the people blessed all the men that willingly offered themselves to dwell at Jerusalem. And these are the men of the Lord right here. The men that willingly offer themselves, man. Which means these men don't have to be told to do the work. You don't have to hold your damn fist to a brother chin to make him go to camp, to make him do a video, to teach, to read, to study. You don't have to light a fire under this brother's seat, man. You don't have to knock on his door, every other damn 3 months, man. Because he's willingly offering himself to be in a condition that is not comfortable, man. He's going to go in that hot sun. He's going to do those videos. He's going to teach. He's going to wake up his people. He's going to give the alms. He's going to resurrect the dead. Why? Because he really wants the kingdom. So he said, guess what? I'm going to willingly offer myself and dwell at Jerusalem, man. Right? Let's go to Nehemiah, the 3rd chapter. Right? This is Nehemiah chapter 3 and verse 1. Like I'm saying, a lot of you brothers really don't want the kingdom, man. It just sounds good to you. You might have heard a few brothers say it. You might have heard a few brothers go into certain precepts and it sounds good, right? I mean, what doesn't sound great about the heathen going into captivity? Who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want everlasting life, spiritual body, spiritual power? Who wouldn't read Psalms chapter 149, 5 on down and not catch a fire and not desire those things? Who wouldn't read the blessings in Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14 and not want to obtain those things? So it sounds good. It sounds good to you, but your works don't prove that you really want it, man. You don't really want this kingdom. You like the idea of the kingdom, but your works aren't proving it, brother. And you know that. And I'm talking to you. Right? Well, I hope he's not talking to me. Yeah, I'm talking to you, brother. Because even if you're doing works, you could do more. I could do more, man. We got more. We read that this work is great and large. This is Nehemiah. This whole thing is good. Chapter 3. I'm going to start at in verse 2. Nehemiah 3. This whole thing is good, man. 3 and 1. Then Eliashib, the high priest. Now, he's the high priest, man. Right? So, he's dressed in royal, glorious, beautiful apparel, right? But check this out. Then Eliashib, the high priest, rose up with his brethren, the priest, and they built the sheep gate. And they sanctified it and set up the doors of it, even unto the tower of Mea. They sanctified it unto the tower of Hananel. Right? So you had these priests. They said, guess what? Yeah, I'm a priest, but the hell with that. We got work we got to do. And next unto him builded the men of Jericho. And next to them builded Zakur, the son of Amri. So you have all these men putting their brick in. From the priests down to just regular old men. But the fish gate did the sons of Hasiana build, who also laid up the beams thereof, and set up the doors thereof, the locks thereof, and the bars thereof. So all these people putting a brick in. And next unto them repaired Merimoth, the son of Uriah, the son of Kaz. And next unto them repaired Meshullam, the son of Berechiah, the son of Mahazabel. And next to them repaired Zadok, the son of Baana. Now where are you repairing, man? Would your name be written amongst all these men repairing? Are you repairing the wall? Are you teaching your people? Are you doing this work? Are you handing out flyers? Are you making posts? Are you doing videos? Are you teaching? Are you reading? Are you holding posts? You don't even have to teach and read. You can hold posts. You can give helps. You can give alms. You can check on brothers. Right? There's a lot that brothers can do in this thing, man. Every brother don't have to be the deep. You don't have to know the deepest, darkest parables to do this work. The work is more than just teaching. We got, there's brothers that do plenty of things in the body, man. Plenty of things. And you got to find, I believe they call it your niche, and kind of find your gift, biblically speaking, and get in where you fit in. You got to get in where you fit in this thing, man. Hey, and championship teams, even a water boy get a ring, man. Even the guy that washed the uniforms, we call them these guys, the sport equipment manager. I believe that's what they call him. Sports equipment manager. One of those titles, man. And that guy get a ring, you know? Hey, the trainers, athletic trainers, they get a ring. The third assistant coach, he get a ring. Third string quarterback, he get a ring. You know, general manager who don't play no games, he get a ring. Owner of the team, he get a ring. Everybody get a ring, man. Because everybody play a part. Can't have no football team and everybody got these uncomfortable, dirty uniforms on. Jerseys don't match. Everything out of order. If they get injured, you need these trainers. You can't have a sports team without trainers. Those guys who give you that cup of water and Gatorade, hey, that's a big deal, man. You ain't gonna be able to score, 3 touchdowns if you dehydrated. Everybody put their brick in. The general manager, he got to figure out, okay, what players do we need for this season? What guys, work well together? So everybody got to, find their role in this thing. Even guys, they find that they're role players, man. And certain sports like basketball. And you might have a guy, he's a role player. He might just play defense, man. He know he can't shoot. He know he's not a rebounder. He said, hey, look, I know what I'm good at. I can play defense. Whenever I get in, I may not play 48 minutes. I'll play 10 minutes, but I'm going to give it my all. Right? So there's no excuses, man. There's no excuses. Let's read on. Where I'm at, it's like in Nehemiah chapter 3, and I'm going to read verse 5. So we're reading about everybody doing the work. And next unto them, the Tekoites repaired, but their nobles put not their necks to the work of the Lord. You see that? So you had nobles who said, guess what? I see everybody doing the work. I'm not going to put my neck to the work. And guess what? These names are written. These names are written forever. These men, they're not going to make it. These men, they can't be the elect because they didn't put their necks to do the work. Even the high priest, where are we at? Even the high priest, he rolled his sleeves up. He said, I'm no better than my brethren. I see what my fellow brothers are doing. Let me go labor with my brothers. Even the high priest. Then you had nobles. Nah, I refuse to put my neck to the work, man. Right? So you even had women that was involved putting their work in when you read this chapter. You had a man and his daughters, that was doing the work. You can read on in this. Let's go to the book of, let's go to 2 Kings, right? Chapter 12, right? Let's go to 2 Kings, the 12th chapter. This is 2 Kings. So it's really no excuses, man. 2 Kings chapter 12 and 5. It reads, let the priests take it to them, every man of his acquaintance, and let them repair the breaches of the house, wheresoever any breach shall be found. And there are many breaches amongst us as a people, man. Until the kingdom is manifest, we have breaches, right? You got brothers in many states, man, that don't know who they are. Many cities that don't know who they are. The elect aren't sealed yet, man. Right? We're not in the time of tribulation right now. We're in the time of Jacob's trouble. The chariots aren't here yet. Yahushua didn't crack the sky open yet, man. So we still got work we got to do. I don't know where the breaches are. Well, brother, you better get up and ask somebody, or you better find out, man. Hey, if you got a breach in your house and you can't find it and it's a flood, guess what? That's on you, man. Well, nobody told me where the breach was. That's your house. You should know where the breach is at because you examine your house. You're on top of your monthly repairs. You're checking at a hinge on the door. You're looking at that crack in the ceiling, right? You're getting your roof inspected every so-and-so, man. You see the floorboard kind of coming up and you nail it back down. You got to find these breaches, man. So our forefathers, where any breach was found, they repaired it. 2 Kings 12 and 6. It reads, but it was so that in the 23rd year of King Jehoash, the priests had not repaired the breaches of the house. So we read about the nobles who didn't do the work, and you got priests. They're not repairing the breaches of the house, man. Right? And you have to ask yourself, are you repairing the breaches of the house? Now, you got brothers that work on construction sites, but they're temps, man. You know, they're not long-term. And, see how I want to say this. And I worked in places, we had a lot of, ain't nothing wrong with being a temp, you know. Hey, we in these curses. But, hey, when you're a temp, man, and I've seen most attempts, not everyone, hey, a temp really don't care like that, man. And some of these temps, man, they be young kids, they be, 18, 19. They're looking for quick money so they can get off of work, buy an ounce of weed, man, with their paycheck. They're always late. They might get into a fight, in the parking lot after work. They're rebellious. They're always in the bathroom. They take long breaks. They're not really invested in this thing, man. They don't really care. They're kind of in this thing to get their money. Maybe they got their baby mother on the side and, they got to get their child support up. But, they got fired from their last job because they was late. So they just go from job to job. You don't want to be a temp kind of spiritual worker. You're here, your heart not in it. You only here part-time. You're never really, you're in this thing and you're kind of not in this thing, man. Don't be the brother that's not repairing the breaches of the house, right? Let's go to the book. Let's see, man, I had a few precepts. Let's go to Proverbs 14 and 23, right? Let's go to Proverbs, right? Chapter 14 and 23. Don't be the brother that's not putting the brick in. We read read Nehemiah, the 3rd chapter. That shows you everybody was involved. Every man was involved, but then you have certain men that refuse to put their neck to the work, man. And you got men like that in Israel. There's men that talk about the kingdom, but they don't want the kingdom. They complain about their women and their children and their marriage and bills and rent and mortgage right, but they don't really want this thing, man. Because if they did, they would put their necks to the work. If they did, they would repair the breaches. If they did, they would be laboring night and day. Right? So, like the scriptures say, the fruit declareth if the tree hath been dressed. Right? So this is Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 23. Right? Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 23. It reads, "In all labor there is profit, but the talk of the lips tendeth only to penury." Right? Which means what? All labor is profit. If you work 1 hour on a building, there's still profit in it. It may not be the maximum profit, but you have exerted force and you have brought some type of profitability to that building because you put one brick down, right? Now, the Lord said, in all labor there is profit. Whether you work 30 minutes or you work an hour or a 10-hour shift. If you're working, there's profit in your work. People are going to see the fruit of that. But the Lord said the talk of the lips leads only to what? Let me read this again. But the talk of the lips tendeth only to penury, meaning poverty. If all you do is talk, you ain't going to get nothing, man. You can't just talk and expect to get profit. Yeah, brother, man, I can't wait till the chariots come, man. Boy, man, I can't wait, man. I'm going to have my foot on their neck, man. Right, man, I can't wait. We're going to dash their baby against a stone. I want to rule over 10 cities, 5 cities, 1 city. Man, I want my crown, man. I want to rule over the nation with a rod of iron. I want the name of the Most High to be magnified. Brother, you're just talking. All you're doing is talking. You heard somebody else say that. It sounds good to you, but you're not really putting in the work to match what you say. And the more you say, the more you better be working. The more you want this thing, the more work you should be putting in. The more you hate this place, the more work you should be putting in. We got a lot of work we got to do. The work is great and large, man. The talk of the lips tendeth only to penury, which is poverty. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 15, right? 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 10. So, brothers, we all, even myself, every day we're examining ourselves and asking ourselves, what are my favorite questions I like to pose myself and brothers is, hey, look, every day a brother should be asking himself, what more can I do in this truth, man? Okay, yesterday wasn't enough. What more can I do for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua? Not that you can literally do anything for the Most High, not that he needs you, but you're magnifying his name. How more can I magnify the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua? What more can I do to seal the elect? What more can I do to magnify the ministry? What more can I do for my household? What more work can I do? You know, you got people that always take overtime shifts at jobs, man. They say, can anybody work overtime? And you got these guys, they always raise their hand. Can anybody stay late 20 minutes? Hey, these guys, they always stay late, man. I need somebody to come in early. You know, we ran into a hiccup. Can you come in early? And these guys always come in early. Those are the guys that are going to make it, man. Right? Because the rulers are watching those people. And they're going to be advanced. You know? And you do the bare minimum. And when it's time to start cutting the fat, you're going to be cut off, man. When it's a budget cut, or, you know, the expense report come out, the capital report, you know, and they start looking at where they can cut ties at, and they say, you know, within our labor costs, are the employees, we're going to start cutting it down. Who you think they're going to cut down first? The guys that do the bare minimum, man. All of these managers, they're going to come together and they're going to pull up the roster. They're going to go through the org chart and your name is going to come up. They're going to look at your performance review. They're going to look at your numbers. And guess what, man? You're going to be the first one cut because you did the bare minimum. Then the second guy after you, he's going to get cut. I got fired from my job. They laid me off. Brother, they don't roll dice and lay people off, man. You think these Edomites that care about their business just roll dice, pick a straw and say, well, let's lay off, you know, number 1 through 10? No, man. And they process this stuff. They look at numbers. They look at your work ethic, man. They know you Negroes, man. You know, they look at the time clock. How many days you've been late? How many days you called out? They look at that stuff, man. And guess what? You don't get fired for no reason, man. Unless, you know, sometimes that can happen, right? But, hey, a lot of brothers, I got fired from my job. This happened. That's the curses, man. Brother, is it the curses or were you late 10 times? Is it the curses or everybody worked overtime but you? Is it the curses or are you always calling out? So, again, stop playing yourself, man. Take some accountability. And the number one thing brothers need to take accountability on is stop lying and saying you want the kingdom, man. Just admit it. Turn in your boots. Turn in your Bible. Turn in your pocket because you don't really want this thing. I'm talking to you, man. You sit at home all day. You watch videos for entertainment. You never went out there to labor. You spend all day on a comment board, but you never even tried to put a brick in. You never even handed out one flyer in your area. You always make excuses. You don't read how you used to read. You barely study. Just cut it out, man. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 15, right? 1 Corinthians chapter 15, and I'm going to read verse 5. 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 5. It reads, and there were seen of above 500 brethren at once, of whom the greater part remain unto this present, but some are fallen asleep, right? You have some men that gave up the ghost. Some men were still alive from the time Yahweh Shai ascended up into the third heaven, right? Verse 7. After that, he was seen of James, then of all the apostles. And last of all, he was seen of me also as one born out of due time. Right? And I love that verse because the apostle Paul, he wasn't brought into the truth at the same time of Peter, James, and John. And he knew that. That's why he said, I'm one born out of due time. Like siblings that are born. And, you know, most siblings, they're like 2 years apart, 3 years apart, 4 years apart. Then, you know, some people, they got siblings. They're born like, 10 years later, right? 8 years later. You know, they're born when the parents are like 40 something. They're born out of due time, right? So we were born out of due time. You know, I came into this truth in the 11th hour. A lot of you brothers, you came into this truth in the 11th hour. So we were born out of due time, right? It reads, Salakia, verse 9, for I am the least of the apostles, That I'm not meet to be called an apostle because I persecuted the church of God. And we're not meet to know this truth, man. What did we do to deserve knowing that we're Israelites? Name one thing that you did. Name one thing that you did for you to deserve this truth. And how you earned knowing your nationality and knowing this knowledge. What did you do, man? Go ahead. Name one, name two. And you persecuted the church, man. We persecuted the church. I persecuted the church. We're not meant to be called apostles, right? It reads in verse 10, but by the grace of the Most High, I am what I am. And there's nothing we can do about what we did in the world. All we can do is be on fire in the position that the Most High put us in. It says, hey, it is what it is, man. By the grace of the Most High, I am what I am. And his grace, which he bestowed upon me, was not in vain, but I labored more abundantly than they all, yet not I, but the grace of the Most High, which was with me. So you can't take the grace that was bestowed upon you in vain. And the Lord said in Baruch the 4th chapter, for as it was your mind to go astray from the Most High, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. You got to go 10 times harder. You got to put 10 more bricks in. We got to do more and more and more, man. There's more work that has to be done. He said, look, Paul said, okay, I see the opportunity and the mercy that Yahweh Ba'ashmel Shah has given me. I'm not going to play around with this. I'm not playing no damn games. And it got to the point where the Apostle Paul, he can actually qualify and say he labored more than the rest of the apostles. Man, Barnabas, James, John, Peter. He said it wasn't him, but the grace that the Most High gave him. So that's the mentality that we have to have, a work ethic. Can somebody pull up the definition of work ethic, Baba Kashad? Right? Somebody pull up work ethic. All right. Pull up work ethic, Baba Kashad. I want to get that. Let's go to the book of, let's see, man. Let's go to Nehemiah. I mean, I had a few. Let's do Mark, the 6th chapter. Right, let's do Mark, the 6th chapter. All right, I may not be able to get every precept. Right, Mark chapter 6. Somebody pull up work ethic, Baba Kashah, for Brother Got Time. Right, Mark chapter 6. And I'm going to read verse 30. All right, the water for that definition. All right, it reads, a belief in work as a moral good, a set of values centered on the importance of doing work and reflected especially in a desire or determination to work hard. So people that have a work ethic, what do they have? Discipline. That's the main thing. And people with a work ethic, they're also consistent. Those are the two factors of somebody with a work ethic. They have discipline and consistency, right? So they're predictable, man. Like these guys, they'll wake up, they'll do push-ups, they'll wash their face, they'll brush their teeth. They do it from 6 to 6:15. At 6:15, they make a cup of coffee. 6:30, they eat they eggs and a turkey bacon and maybe a pancake or two. And then, 6:35, they're driving to work. They have a work ethic, discipline. They have a schedule, right? You kind of know where this guy's going to be at, right? These guys they're organized. They have alarms, right? They're motivated, right? It reads, here's another definition. A work ethic is a personal set of values that determines how any employee approaches their work. Employees with strong work ethic. All right, here's another definition. The principle, and throughout for the definitions, that hard work is intrinsically virtuous or worthy of reward. Work ethic is a belief that work and diligence have a moral benefit and an inherent ability, virtue, or value to strengthen character and individual abilities. So every brother should have a work ethic, man. Discipline, consistency, drive. You understand? A passion, a fire, a zeal to do this work. Mark chapter 6 and verse, so I came out of the right chapter, right? Mark chapter 6 and 29. And when his disciples heard of it, they came and took up his corpse and laid it in the tomb. And the apostles, right? That's John the Baptist being beheaded. And the apostles gathered themselves together unto Yahushua and told him all things, both what they had done and what they had taught, right? It reads, and he said unto them, come ye yourselves apart into a desert place and rest for a while. For there were many coming and going, and they had no leisure, so much as to eat. That's work ethic, man. They had no leisure. They didn't have time to go on a voyage around the world. They had work that had to be done. They didn't have time to go to Cancun for 14 days, man, and come back the 15th day and say, oh, man, I needed that vacation. Let me do the work. They didn't have time to take on 3 hobbies and learn how to fly a kite and make a ship inside a glass bottle, man, and pick up bowling. They didn't have time for these things, man. You know? Now, there's nothing wrong with having a little bit of, the Lord said, how can he get wisdom that occupieth the plow, paraphrasing? Or wisdom cometh by opportunity of leisure, paraphrasing. Sirach 38, 24 and down. So you're going to have that leisure time so you don't burn out, and wear your flesh down and your mind out, right? You need that leisure to a certain extent, but that leisure has to be limited. You can't have unlimited leisure. And the work that you do should outweigh the leisure that you have. Because the work is great and large, right? The work, there's nothing wrong with that downtime. You might, you got brothers, they might, drink a little wine, or, they might go, see a movie, or, go out with their woman, or whatever the case may be, right? And there ain't nothing wrong with that. There's no sin in that. You don't want to be over righteous, but you also don't want to be over much wicked. Neither be thou foolish. Why shouldest thou die before thy time? Your whole mentality should be like the apostles. Labor, 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 work, 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 work. Right? We got a lot of work we got to do. We're not done yet, man. Let's go to Genesis chapter 31. Right? Let's go to Genesis. Right? Maybe able to get maybe 1, maybe 2 more. Genesis. Right? Chapter 31 and verse 40. It reads, thus I was in the day, the drought consumed me, and the frost by night, and my sleep departed from mine eyes. Thus have I been 20 years in thy house. I served thee 14 years for thy 2 daughters, and 6 years for the cattle, and thou hast changed my wages 10 times. So he had to endure adversity, man. 20 years. He was supposed to work a 7-year bid. It turned to 20 years. And he said, what happened? It wasn't easy. The drought consumed him, meaning he was sweating, dehydrated. He might have fainted, laboring for his household, laboring to get his wives back so he could be free from captivity. He was a captive under Laban, man. He was a slave. He had to labor for his liberation. He couldn't march. He couldn't protest. He called upon the Most High. The Most High knew his situation, but he had to labor for that. And he had to labor hard, man. And it says frost by night. He was out there in the middle of the night. Frostbite, cold, shivering. That's our forefather. This is Jacob, Yasha'Allah, who made his body a living sacrifice for his household, man. What are you doing for your household? It's too cold out there. It's too hot out there. Hey, Jacob didn't give a damn if it was hot or cold. He said, and my sleep departed from mine eyes. Sometimes your sleep might depart from your eyes. I gotta go to bed I gotta drink me a warm glass of milk, right? I gotta put my nightcap on. I gotta do my skin routine. I gotta put my wave cap on. I gotta get tucked in. I'll have another warm glass of milk. And then I have to go to bed every day at 8:30. And then I wake up at 8 o'clock p.m. Right? I mean, 8 o'clock a.m. Every day. If I don't get my 8 hours, I'll be cranky. I'm grumpy. Hey, guess what, man? You know? Hey, sometimes you ain't get no damn 8 hours, man. I mean, who's really getting 8 hours? If you really laboring, you might not get 6 hours, man. And there are times you might get 5 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep, man. You might have made your body a sacrifice and look, I'm gonna read 5 more chapters, I'm gonna stay up another hour. Yeah, we held camp this day, we're gonna hold camp again. Yeah, I studied 10 minutes, 20 minutes, I'm gonna study 30, 40 minutes, man. I might wake up early. Yeah, I might lose some sleep. It's gonna leave my eyes, but I'm making my body a living sacrifice, man. This is the work ethic that Jacob had, the work ethic that Paul had, the work ethic the apostles had, the work ethic that Nehemiah had. They labored, and worked all day, all night, man. Let's go to the book of Nehemiah, right? I may be able to get one more, right? This is Nehemiah, maybe 2 more. Chapter 6 and verse 1, right? Nehemiah chapter. So I'm calling out the slothful, man. Calling out you hypocrites, man. You liars. You infidels who don't provide for your house. You men that sit around in the comfortability of your home all day. Like I said, you don't have to be a master teacher to do the work. You don't have to know 10,000 precepts. You don't need a camera. You don't need a microphone, you know? And the apostles went out by twos, man. And they were limited and what they had from clothes to money, man. Because the workman is worthy of his reward, you know? I don't know if I could do this. I'm not part of a big camp. I don't know all of that. Now, you got to be apt to teach. You know, don't get me wrong. That's what the scriptures say. And not a novice, lest being lifted up with pride, you fall into the condemnation of the devil. Pursuing the 1 Timothy, the 3rd chapter, 7 on down. So you want to be studied and rooted. But again, you don't have to know 10,000 precepts to teach or to do the work. Again, you can hold posts. You might give water to the brothers. You might give umbrellas when it rains. You might give alms. You might learn how to make garments. You got to learn how to do things too, man. You can't be one dimensional. You know, you might find out that, hey, look, maybe, this certain talent wasn't for you. What else can I do? And you might find out that you're great at that, man. You might find out that you're a great reader. You're a great counselor. You're a great exhorter, And you got to keep putting your hand to the plow, man. And this thing. Right? Let me read Nehemiah chapter 6 and verse 1. Now it came to pass when Sanballat and Tobiah and Geshem, the Arabian, and the rest of our enemies heard that I had builded the wall, and that there was no breach left therein, though at that time I had not set up the doors upon the gates, right? Because nothing's perfect yet, right? That's the point. You could build, but hey, everything's not going to be perfect until Yahweh Shah returns. Verse 2, that Sanballat and Geshem sent unto me, saying, come, let us meet together in some one of the villages and the plains of Ano, but they thought to do me mischief. So you have these spirits, which are these men coming against him to try to stop him from doing the work that's almost perfected. It's almost done. We're at the end of this thing. And these demons are going to come at you to stop you from finalizing what has to be done. One more nail, one more screw, one more brick. Nehemiah was almost done. There was no breach, but the doors wasn't set yet. And as that's about to get done, all these legion of demons are coming against him. That's what's going to come against us, man. Lust, temptation, wicked women, pride, rebellion, sedition, madness, murmuring, folly, confusion, doctrines, discord, wickedness, sorcery, to try to do you mischief. Nehemiah 6 and 3. And I sent messengers unto them, saying, I am doing a great work, so that I cannot come down. Why should the work cease whilst I leave it and come down to you? And that should be your mentality. When anything try to stop you from doing this work, you got to rebuke it. You got to rebuke these demons, man. Hey, your woman want to lay up with you when you're reading. Look, I'm reading right now, man. Now, you can say it how you want to say it to your woman, and wisdom, and discretion. Hey, but look, I'm reading right now. Hey, you might have children. They want to, play. Hey, look, I'm studying right now. And you might get a phone call from your damn mother, man. Oh, baby, what are you doing? You want to see me today? No, I got to go to camp. I'm doing camp today. I'll talk to you after camp, or whatever you want to say, man. Spirits are going to try to stop you. A wicked woman's going to pop back up in your life, man. You remember me? I'm looking for a man of the Lord. Can you come over at 2 a.m. and give me counsel? Pride is going to come in your way, man, and make you feel like can't nobody tell you nothing. Wicked men are going to come in and try to seduce you and get you all out the spirit, man. And if you fall for that, hey, guess what? That's on you, man, because you have plenty of examples. So you have to say, I am doing a great work. We're focused on this truth, man. We have tunnel vision. We won't stop till this great work is done. I am doing a great work so that I cannot come down. It reads, why should the work cease whilst I leave it and come down to you? Yeah, why should you stop doing the work to go back in the world, to entertain folly and madness, man? Verse 4, for they sent unto me 4 times after this sort, and I answered them after the same manner. So those demons are going to come back once. They're going to come back twice. They're going to come back 3 times. And you can't get weak. You have to answer them after the same manner. Hey, that's where Samson fell, man. Samson fell after a few times, after Delilah seduced him, man. He fell a few times after he got seduced. Nehemiah wasn't so. He said, I answered them after the same manner. So these demons came after him 4 times. He didn't get weak, man. Okay, I'll lay up with you. Now your woman started arguing. You don't love me. You never spend time with me. You never pick up your kids. Right? Yeah, your mother, you never see me anymore. Your worldly friends, you're not the same anymore. All them spirits are going to try to make you feel bad, cause you to go off, commit lewdness, fornication, wickedness. I'm going to read it one more, Nehemiah 6:4, one more time. Yet they sent unto me the 4 times after this sort, and I answered them after the same manner. Then sent Sanballat his servant unto me in like manner the 5th time with an open letter in his hand. So they came back even a 5th time. These demons will not stop. These spirits will not stop. They're going to always try to get you to not do this work, to call out of work, man, to take a vacation, to act like you got some type of spiritual sick time, spiritual PTO, man. We got work we got to do, man. Stop acting like you really want the kingdom, man. Stop acting like you really want this everlasting life, man. Stop acting like you want salvation and immortality. Cut it out, brother. Stop acting like you want to rule over these nations, man. You haven't got off the keyboard not one time. You don't do no work. You're not doing nothing for the people. You're scared to go to camp. You're scared to be seen on camera by your job. You don't want to run across your in-laws or your mother or your brother. You're afraid you might get stabbed out there. You might get shot. Or you might already go out there, but you don't go out there like you're supposed to. And your heart not really in it. You're the brother always asking when this camp over with. You're the one that kept thinking about beer and liquor. You're the one that's always, I want to be behind the camera. I just want to hold posts. You want to do the bare minimum. You want to be in the background all the time. You don't want to maximize your talents and labor and labor and labor and labor. Stop acting like you want the kingdom, man. So with that, I'm going to close up, giving, of course, our honor and our glory to Yahweh. By Shema Mashiach, Kwamalak Yabashai. Most High willing you are edified.